interception. If he just throw that a little bit more outside,
yeah,
we got
that ball
work with.
floated. Seemed to just stay in the air like
when
like a hoverboard.
I saw him going upfield, and I'm like, he got him because the safety was way inside, but then the ball just drifted right to the safety, and it was like, but offense played well enough to win. I understand when you lose, everybody loses. When you win, everybody wins. But the problem yesterday was the defense, and people can't make no excuses for this. C-Rod had a big run. You know, they did some great things on offense, I would say, to get themselves in position to stay in the game. But defensively, we were lost. And for all the people who want us, who consistently talk about don't play the starters in preseason, don't do this. Did you see that display of tackling yesterday? It was one of the worst I've seen in my life. One thing I know, running backs in the NFL, just bump them. They're not going down. They're going to keep going forward. You got to wrap up. And nobody wraps up today. Listen, in that game yesterday, I know there are guys on our team that likes to tackle. They didn't do it yesterday. Linebackers, safeties, corners, D linemen, none of them wrapped up.
12 missed tackles.
This is not a game of bouncing. This is a game of tackle football. Grab the dude by his leg, grab him by his waist, wrap your arms around him, and fall to the ground. I don't give a damn how good guys are in the NFL. If you grab them with your weight and fall, they are going down. But if you just bump them, they will keep going. They are professional athletes. And this bumping people thing, it's getting on my damn nerve. They got to get that fixed.
Specific to the tackling, because there's a lot to address defensively. I think a lot of people are mad at Joe Witt. I think there's some merit to that. But a lot of this is on the players, too. Joe Witt's not trying to make a tackle and getting run over.
Yeah. What I said, Jay, this is professional football. The athletes are what? Professional athletes, right? Don't you think if I see something 2 or 3 times, I know damn well that I can't keep doing what I'm doing, so I have to make an adjustment. There is a thing in football called communication. And I didn't see very good communication because I saw them run the same route combination from start to finish in that game.
Out of that bunch.
And they were open. One of those receivers was wide ass open every time on those routes. The interception by Mikey, the dude in front of him was open, and the dude behind him, Penix threw a flat ball. Penix threw that ball with a little bit more arc. That's another reception. But Mikey made a fantastic play. They have to communicate. When you go into a game, listen, I've told you many times about Bobby Jackson. We go into games, and he's telling me what to do all week. Then I get in the game, and I start doing what he's telling me to do, and it's not working. Am I going to keep doing it? No. Everybody going to blame him. They're going to blame me. So I stopped doing what he told me to do and did what worked, scored a touchdown. He still tell me I'm not listening to him. Bobby, I'm not listening to you on Sunday, especially if that stuff didn't, I almost said the wrong word. If that stuff not working throughout the week, I'm not going to do it on Sunday. I'm going to do what works. And that's what guys got to understand. It's not disrespecting or not listening to your coach. You know different techniques and different things to do, and sometimes you have to make adjustments. That old Peyton Manning, you got to check the pancakes. Omaha, get it changed up. And we did none of that yesterday.
Specific to the tackling, you do have to credit Bijan Robinson. He's a really good player. So we're saying that to start. There's also, you were saying this, and I agree with you. Over the last, maybe this is like the last 15 years, you see a lot more guys fly in to make big hits, and there's less hitting and wrapping. That's across football, right? Yeah. But there's another factor, and Frankie Louvu said something last night that I thought was really interesting, and it was kind of offhand. I don't even know if he meant it how I interpreted it. But we were at training camp every day. Mm-hmm. They had the joint practice against the Patriots. They had the Brotherhood Bowl in that weird week off because of the scheduling. Uh-huh. They were supposed to have the joint against the Ravens. That got canceled. They did have like a fairly physical practice ahead of that Ravens game. think we could count on one hand the amount of actual, real physical practices.
Yeah.
Maybe you get to 7, but it's not more than 7. Maybe it's 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that is fairly standard across the league. But Luvu said something last night. He's like, yeah, it's week 4. It's still early. We're all kind of getting in the flow of things.
See, you shouldn't have to get, that's what I'm talking about. That's where the disconnect is. You win week 4. You should be in stride by then. If we really took preseason serious,
they don't.
All over the league, if we took it serious, you might see less injuries in the regular season. Injuries happen, but you may see less because if you have people walking around doing a little stroll, and they do a stroll for like 3 weeks, and then that 4th week I say, run full speed, you're going to have those soft tissue injuries. You're going to have different injuries. If a guy hasn't been tackled for real till he gets into the real games, you know what's going to happen? He's not going to know how to take a hit. Like boxers. You ever heard boxers say, when you got to know how to take a punch? You watch some guys when they get punched, they just let their face stay there to get knocked the hell out. Other guys move with the punch. You do the same thing in football when you're getting tackled. And I will still say it. I don't care. NFL, NFLPA. You learn football, you get ready for football by playing damn football. You don't go around playing flag and playing touch and then go tell people go full speed. Because if we really want to tell the fans then, the real action don't start till week 5 in the football season. Well, then you may have to charge them a price a little less than what the hell goes down. Because preseason, they shouldn't pay full price for preseason. And now, look like the first 4 weeks of the season, you shouldn't pay for that either. Because people are still getting into it. They get into the flow. And players are thinking that. That's despicable, dog. When week 1 hit, you should be already ready to rock. You have to wait till week 4, week 5 to start learning how to play some damn football? Why? What are you going through OTAs and mini camps and training camp for if you got to wait till week 5 to, now we ready to go? That's crazy.
There's a lot to unpack from yesterday's loss. Schematically, the coverage yesterday was a problem. The coverage has been a problem all year. Like, something as simple as crossing routes and sending guys in motion pre-snap should not undo your defense. Mm-hmm. And right now, it seems to be undoing this defense. Yeah. And I wonder, you wonder if age is catching up to some guys. They do not seem to have the same speed in these losses. The Packers were running circles around them. The Falcons yesterday were able to get guys open so routinely that you wondered what the hell was going on. And the Falcons have some good young pieces. Certainly. They've got Bijan, Pitts, and London, all on rookie deals, I believe. Maybe one of those guys is in their option year. Those are legit players, right? But like every NFL team's going to have legit players. And the only real defensive shutdown was against the Giants with Russ Wilson on the field, who has since been benched. Mm-hmm. Even against the Raiders, offensively, not exactly a juggernaut. That kid Tucker ate their lunch. He finished with like 8 for 150 and 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And defensively, there's some stuff that is on the players, specifically tackling. That's up to you, right?
That's a manhood thing.
But shout out to Doc. But some of the coverage stuff you wonder if the players can get it done, specifically Lattimore, man. He had the deep shot to Drake London. Maybe you can argue there was like a double move in there. Or he just lost outside leverage and got burnt. Lattimore has not looked good and comfortable since he arrived. Last year, you had the injury conversation. I think it was pretty clear the hammy wasn't right. This year, by all accounts, he's right. And I don't know that they trust their depth. Injuries are an issue, certainly. You lose Jonathan Jones, who's supposed to be kind of a veteran corner for you. But, I don't know that you need to put Mikey outside. I don't know what the fix is, but defensively, I'm trying to be balanced, right? Because it's really important not to be completely reactionary the day after a loss. Inevitably, we'll open these phone lines up. People are going to scream, fire Joe Witt, bench Lattimore, bench Bobby. There's going to be a lot of things, right? I think you got to be balanced and try to look at totality through a quarter of the season.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
2 weeks out of the 4 games, we saw great play.
good play.
Dominant play. No, man, it was better than good
From
play.
the defense
They were
specifically?
dominant. They were dominant in the defensive line situation, I'm trying to say.
I agree with that.
In 2 of the games. In the other 2 games, they were not.
The coverage issues have happened repeatedly. The D-line has shown up and been dominant.
And when the D-line shows up, the coverage is better. When the D-line don't show up, the coverage is awful. The D-line and the O-line, as much as everybody want to cheer on just the skill positions, they have to start understanding it starts there. And if those, but I don't like to see this. What I'm seeing is a roller coaster ride right now, rolling heels.
Well, and
I want to see consistent play.
Well, and to that point, DQ said this last night, and I was kind of blown away that he just said the quiet part out loud. He's like, yeah, we're having these slow starts on the road, and we can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
You play on the road in the NFL.
Totally.
What is the difference? I was on the field. You were on the field. I said to somebody within the organization, probably a half hour till kick. Maybe it's 45 minutes till kick. And I was like, man, it feels kind of lifeless. Like it just.
Yeah, it was no.
There were times you could feel the energy.
It was flat.
It was flat.
I can tell you one thing. The fans bringing it.
Yo, the fans, there were a ton of Burgundy and Gold
You could have
fans in
sworn
Atlanta.
as many Atlanta fans in that stadium. When Washington did something,
50-50.
Yeah, when Washington did something, they were louder than the Atlanta fans.
Well, dude, if you go back, Washington scores to make it 10-7, and then Atlanta has a big third down, relatively deep in their own territory. There were loud defense chants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was pregame in that stadium. Let's say it was 50-50, because I really think it was. The vibe from Falcons fans was ready to boo their team off the field because they were pissed about last week. I mean, getting shellacked by the Panthers, getting shut out by the Panthers. There's turmoil in the coaching staff. Falcons fans don't seem particularly happy with Raheem Morris, and some of the clock management stuff, I can understand why. Falcons fans were dead. Burgundy and Gold fans were fired up.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them. There was gear everywhere. Landfill, you would have loved the amount of big hats I saw. A lot of big hat energy. Mm-hmm. And what did they do? They immediately gave Atlanta fans a reason to buy in. And then they started getting loud.
Yep.
And every time the Washington crowd wanted to get involved, the defense just gave up big plays.
Yep.
And there's so many things that I think are fixable, which is good, and then you try to zoom out and you're 2-2 through 4 games. I do think I'm going to operate under the assumption I believe Jaden Daniels will play in LA against the Chargers. So if it was the 4th of July and you and I are drinking a beer talking, and I say, B, Mariota's going to have to start 2 games this year, they go 1-1. Would you be good with that? Like your backup quarterback comes in, you want to be able to tread water. Mariota was pretty good in both. He was quite good.
But the games, if I saw the games they were going in, no, I'm not good with it because I think Mariota played well enough to win that game. I wouldn't expect the defense to play as awful as they did.
Agreed. I think what on earth allows this team and the coach to say it, we're starting slow on the road. I got bad news. 3 of the next 4 are on the road.
Yeah.
You're going to Dallas, which last night showed the hell up. You're going to Kansas City.
Maybe that's him trying to send them a message where you got to go on the road and be ready to play too. Because the one thing me and Santana kept saying is they're playing flat. They seem flat. You know, listen, bro. I don't know the makeup of a lot of these guys. But one thing I knew about when I played football, on the road is when I really got crazy. Because I was the person who would watch, what's my man, Spike Lee, harassing the hell out of players in basketball. And I love Reggie Miller because he'll shut him the hell up MJ will shut him the hell up. And going on the road, that's the one. You find you somebody in the crowd, the most irritating person in the crowd, and you want to shut his ass up.
Hell.
That's the way I wanted to be.
I thought the American crowd at the Ryder Cup in New York was completely out of control.
Yeah.
And you know what the Europeans did?
They went right back at him.
Dunked on him.
You got to, listen, bro, when you're in hostile environments, you have to be able to bring the same level of energy that they have. You can't go match that being all quiet all the damn time.
It's worth pointing out that Washington didn't have its best player and hasn't now for 2 games, right? Jaden Daniels makes a difference in every game he's in. Clearly that was missing. Marcus was good. He was really good against Raiders. I thought he was fine yesterday. Not having Jaden's a big deal. Like, we can't deny that. They are beat up. But this is also the roster you constructed. And if you look at, like, the IR, it is all these veteran players you brought in are the ones hurt. And you wonder, I mean, I think there's some real questions about roster construction at this point, but you also don't want to be reactionary. It's a 17-game season. Like, the highs and lows of a football season. I'm trying to remember who said it. One of the guys last night in the locker room, I think Tom Shad was working on a story about, like, how do the players feel through 4 games of the season? Optimistic, pessimistic. And one of the players was like, man, last year we lost 3 games in a row. Like, things are going to happen over the course of a season. And you try to keep that mindset. And that's where the mindset I want the players to have. But when you have a veteran-laden team like this, how the hell can you start slow on the road?
I don't get it. I just look, man, the one thing I look for is consistency. If a team brings me the same consistent approach for every game, I would automatically assume that they're going to win more games than they're going to lose. But if you bring me one week and then the next week you're down, why can't you be the same? Why can't you be up both of the weeks in a row? You know, it's troubling. You saw yesterday in games. I mean, I'm looking, what was it? The Chargers go up to New York. We both thought the New York didn't have a chance in hell. New York beat them. They had another quarterback come in. Match play. The defense has to realize Carolina beat them 30-0 last week. Okay? You should go into that game with that mindset, we're not going to let them get right on us. And then Carolina got beat by whoever yesterday by damn near 20-something, 30 points.
Patriots.
Yeah. So what you got to realize is, man, you got to be able to match the intensity consistently throughout a year. And guys have to be discussing that, talking that. When you're in practice, you got to go hard like that. You can't just be showing up and think it's going to just happen for you. They lost 30-0 last week, but that don't mean it's going to just happen for you if you don't come and play. What I said before the game, I said on Friday, they're all professional athletes, right? Any given day. It's the chemistry and the approach that messes up stuff. And that's what happened. We didn't have the right chemistry yesterday, defensively. We didn't have the right physical approach. Atlanta came out there pissed off with something to prove, and we allowed it to happen.